have breaking news for you. Boxer Anthony Joshua has been injured in a car crash that killed 2 people in Nigeria.
So this is the same Jake Paul that took down the pound-for-pound heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. This is the same Jake Paul who is sticking his tongue out to people and doing the all-mocking tongue.
Did you see when he hit Jake Paul that final time? Did you see what Jake Paul said?
His face. Yeah, he ain't felt that kind of power.
Hell no!
After news broke that Anthony Joshua was in a serious car accident in Nigeria that took the lives of 2 of his best friends, people online started noticing something creepy. There's been a lot of talk lately about the so-called Jake Paul curse, especially after fans noticed a disturbing pattern with almost every fighter who went against Jake. Jake's fought around 13 people so far, and a concerning number of them experienced serious issues after Anthony Joshua's tragic car accident happened just days after his fight with Jake. And now this online theory is gaining traction that fighters who step into the ring with Jake end up facing some kind of major setback or tragedy. Now here's where Shannon Sharpe stepped in. Just days before, that clip of Shannon went viral, showing him laughing at the idea that Jake Paul ever stood a chance against Anthony Joshua. And then, out of nowhere, Joshua ends up in the headlines for losing his 2 best friends and almost losing his own life. And that's when people started pointing out that this isn't the first time something dark always seems to happen around Jake Paul. And now some fans are even pushing it even further and saying this whole thing is giving Illuminati ritual vibes. Alright, let's first talk about this scary accident that Anthony Joshua was involved in Nigeria, the homeland of his parents. The accident took place on Monday, December 29th in Ogun State, Nigeria, on one of the country's busiest highways. Anthony was a passenger in a Lexus SUV that reportedly collided with a stationary truck. Sadly, the crash resulted in 2 fatalities, identified as 2 of Anthony's friends, Sina Gami and Kevin Latif Ayodele. Other passengers were injured but survived, and Anthony himself sustained injuries that were reported as minor, and he was taken to a nearby hospital, where he was listed as stable. Nigerian authorities have now launched an official investigation into the circumstances of the crash, but according to preliminary police reports, the vehicle may have been speeding and lost control while overtaking. Anthony Joshua's official spokesperson has now released a statement, confirming that the 2 men who lost their lives in the crash were very close to Anthony. The statement read, "It is with the deepest and most profound sadness that we confirm, following a road traffic accident in Lagos, Nigeria earlier today, the death of Sina Gami and Kevin Latif Ayodele. Both were close friends and integral members of Anthony's team. We respectfully ask that space and privacy be given to the families at this time, while they process this truly shocking and devastating news." Anthony sustained injuries in the accident and was taken to the hospital for checks and treatment. He is in a stable condition and will remain there for observation. So this car accident came shortly after Anthony Joshua had been in the public eye following a high-profile victory against Jake. The fight was officially announced in November 2025, and right away people were talking about the size difference between the 2 fighters. Joshua came in 26.8 pounds heavier and about 5 inches taller than Paul. And of course, there was a huge gap in experience as well. So when they finally stepped into the ring, Joshua won by knockout in the 6th round. Meanwhile, Paul ended up in the hospital after the fight with a broken jaw, needing surgery to have 2 titanium plates fitted, and even some teeth removed. And that's when Shannon Sharpe decided to offer his take and said the whole thing was ridiculous, because Anthony Joshua was clearly holding back from doing even more damage to Jake.
But I know one thing, Anthony Joshua held back, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah.
There were many wide open shots.
Yes!
That a fighter at his level, you take those shots because the opening is there.
If you notice heavyweight, that's why the only really heavy, when you go back and study heavyweight, Socho,
Yeah.
the only one that moved was Ali. Ali
that's
weighed
it.
205.
That's it.
You
The
start
only
getting
one.
these heavyweights, 220, 225, 230, 245. You get Klitschko, 6'6".
Yeah.
You get Fury, 6'8", 6'9", 260, 270.
Yeah.
You get Lennox Lewis, 6'6", 255. Now you start to get, and it's not a division, but they're what we call super heavyweights.
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe, those
Yeah.
big guys,
Big boys.
240, 245, 50, on up. You can't move like that.
Hey.
It takes oxygen.
Yeah. Hey,
Y'all heard how your boy was breathing. I don't want to bring it up, Mocho, but you heard how your boy was breathing. It take a lot of oxygen to move. 255, 260.
But there's another side to this story. Fans online are now pointing out there's a weird pattern involving fighters who fought Jake Paul. and they're calling it the Jake Paul curse. It started with Nate Robinson, the former NBA player, who fought Jake Paul on November 28, 2020. Robinson was knocked out in the second round, and after the fight, he largely stepped away from public boxing appearances to focus on his health after suffering kidney failure.
She said it's going to be probably in your late 30s that your kidneys are going to just deteriorate over time. There were times where I got sick and I was just throwing up and I couldn't control what was going on, and they had to put me in the hospital for a couple days, and I would come out feeling greater than I've ever felt before. So I just kept dealing with the routine over the years. For me, I just was like, man, this is just another stepping stool, another obstacle that I had to overcome. And I was like, I'm not gonna let this be me.
Then there's Ben Askren, the retired MMA fighter, who faced Jake Paul on April 17, 2021. Askren was knocked out in the first round. In the following years, he also experienced serious health issues. He was hospitalized for severe pneumonia, and he later revealed he underwent a double lung transplant after serious complications.
What's up, guys? Have not given you an update in a while. Figured you deserve one. Whenever this is all the way over, I actually just read through my wife's journal because I don't remember anything from May 28th to July 2. No recollection, zero idea, no idea what happened. We'll kind of go through it all, and I just read through my wife's journal. It's like a movie. It's ridiculous. So I only died 4 times, right? Or the ticker stopped for about 20 seconds. That's not ideal. I don't know if you guys know that. But I got the double lung transplant. I made it out to the other side of it, gaining quite a bit of strength. We're going to use everything again.
Next up, there's Tyrone Woodley, the former UFC welterweight champion who fought Jake Paul on August 29, 2021, and lost by split decision. After the fight, Woodley revealed he was dealing with financial difficulties and eventually had to file for bankruptcy. And let's not forget about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who fought Jake Paul on June 11, 2022, and lost by decision. Following the fight, he faced legal and residency issues, including being deported from the U.S. shortly after.
Department of Homeland Security says a famous Mexican boxer has been arrested by U.S. immigrations and customs enforcement agents and will be deported. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was arrested for overstaying a tourist visa that expired last February. Last week, Chavez was in the ring with YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul.
And then there's Tommy Fury, the British champ who fought Jake Paul on February 26, 2023, and won by split decision. After the fight, Fury's personal life and public profile became highly visible, including his messy relationship drama with girlfriend Molly May Hague and alcohol issues.
2023 was the best year that has ever happened to me. I had 2 multi-million pound fights. I won them both. I got engaged. I had a beautiful baby daughter, holidays, everything, houses, the lot. And then all of a sudden, on starting the year off in 2024, and the fact that I lay in the hospital bed and I knew that I couldn't fight this year, I couldn't train this year, couldn't lift weights, couldn't do any of that. Mental health was in the pan, really, really bad. Because I only live for training, and my family's like, that was all snatched away from me. I was going through a terrible time, drinking every day, drunk. What good's that?
There are also cases like Ryan Borland, a low-profile fighter who faced Jake Paul in exhibition bouts. After the fights, he stepped away from professional boxing and returned to regular work as a plumber. And then, of course, there's Mike Tyson, who nearly died before the fight with Jake. He required 8 blood transfusions, lost half his blood due to a bleeding ulcer, and was hospitalized for weeks. And now it's Anthony Joshua. He fought Jake on December 19th and knocked him out in the 6th round, with all judges scoring earlier rounds heavily in Joshua's favor, and Paul suffering a broken jaw that required surgery. But just 10 days after that fight, Anthony was involved in that horrifying car accident in Nigeria. So you got multiple fighters facing personal setbacks, health issues, or life changes after fighting Jake Paul. And that's the pattern people online are calling the Jake Paul curse. Now some are saying this: what's happened to Jake Paul's opponents is genuinely strange. He's fought around 13 people, and a concerning number of them experienced serious issues afterward. And then someone else pointed out that Jake Paul converted last year and wrote, "Jake Paul cast a Kabbalah curse on his op, and it worked." And then some people are even taking it further and saying there was something ritualistic about this fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Many fans noticed that the CEO of Most Valuable Promotions supposedly flashed the Illuminati hand signal several times during the face-off between Jake and Anthony at the press conference. And then there's also Jake Paul's tattoo on his chest, an eye inside a triangle. And some of his other tattoos use skulls, demons, or esoteric designs that are culturally linked to satanic or dark themes. Also, fans noticed that during his fight with Mike Tyson last year, Jake came out with the Skull and Bones jacket. So now a lot of people online are pushing this narrative that Anthony Joshua's car accident was some kind of a warning and a reminder that people who have propped up Jake Paul are the ones pulling the strings. Someone on X wrote, "Call me crazy, but this whole Anthony Joshua incident felt like someone was trying to remind him who really pulls the strings. It's like someone didn't follow the script in the fight, the tongue communication, etc. Maybe someone lost a lot of money, but that's just my humble opinion." And another fan said, "You're not alone, my first thought. We can clearly see from the fight how Jake Paul was signaling, 'Take it easy,' using his tongue. He did the same thing to Mike. He probably got punished, doing what they always do, taking your closest ones. Or he was the target and they missed, but it's not a coincidence." Now, of course, there are also plenty of people who say all of this is just nothing more than conspiracy talk, and that Anthony Joshua's accident has absolutely nothing to do with him beating Jake Paul. But at the same time, people can't help but notice the timing and the way things lined up. So let me know what you think. Is it all just a coincidence? Or is there something about this accident that's giving sacrifice vibes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.